Om. 20th Sutra of the Kaivalya Pada is Ekasamaye Chobhayanavadharanam. Ekasamaye Chobhayanavadharanam. Ekasamaye Cha Anavadharanam. Ekasamaye Cha Ubhaya Anavadharanam. This is a beautiful sutra. What is really practical, normal, common, Maharshi Patanjali is explaining that. Sutra is Eka Samaye. Eka is one, Samaya is time, at one time, at a time. Eka Samaya means at a time. Ubhaya Anavadharanam. Dharanam, Anavadharanam, Ubhaya. Ubhaya is both. Dharanam is perceiving or cognizing. Anavadharanam, not cognizing or not perceiving. Negating that. That means both are not perceived at a time. Both cannot be perceived at a time. Both cannot be felt at a time. And it is impossible. Anavadharanam, it is impossible. And because of the impossibility of cognizing both means, we have seen earlier, the perceiver and the perceived. The perceiver and the perceived. Drishya and Drishyatvat. Both. So because of the impossibility of cognizing both, Ubhaya Avadharanam is not possible. Ubhaya Avadharanam is not possible. Ekasamaya at a time. And because of the Ubhaya Avadharanam not being possible, the argument is continuing. What was put forward in the 18 and 19. Chitta is not the Svabhasaha. That is not the original. Purushaha is the original. Ekasamaye Chobhaya Navadharanam. This is another argument given, or another viewpoint, another truth, another dimension in this particular sutra, what was explained and understood in the 18th and the 19th sutras. From its being unable, by its inability to cognize the two things at the same time, it's not possible. What is perceived and the perceiver, cognition of the both at a time. It's very, very important. Eka Samaye. At a time means the time gap is zero. Timeline is zero. If the mind was self-luminous, it will be able to cognize everything at the same time, which it cannot. Because if we pay deep attention to one particular thing, we lose the attention of the other thing. If the mind were self-luminous, it would have been possible. Because it is not possible, it is not self-luminous. Or because it is not self-luminous, it is not possible. Both ways. In the South India, especially in the Telugu states, there is one powerful method of poetry called as Avadhanam, Ashta Avadhanam. Shata avadhanam, Sahasra avadhanam, avadhanam. And here Maharshi Patanjali is using almost the same, avadharanam. Able to retain, able to perceive 8 things at a time, 100 things at a time, shatavadhanam, 1000 things at a time, sahasra avadhanam. There are persons even now to this particular day who perform not only sahasra avadhanam, dvisahasra avadhanam, 2000 things, but still there is a limitation because perceiver and the perception are different. What is perceived, that which came under avadhanam or avadharanam is different to which it came as avadharanam. That is speciality. So the fact that the mind is perceptible is a matter of experience. We know that the mind is perceptible. Now if the mind is perceptible, it cannot be the same thing as a perceiver. It cannot be. The same thing cannot be the perceiver and the perceived. It cannot be. The changeable and the non-changeable cannot be the same. The transformation and the non-transformation of the same thing, not possible. Parinama and parinamatvam and aparimanatvam for the same is not possible. Parinama and aparinama for the same, not possible. The sutra is emphasizing that. And if the mind is perceptible, it follows that there must be a power of the nature of consciousness, which we generally use it in English, which enables the mind to perform its functions of perception. Since the mind seems to perform its function of perception through the power of consciousness, that is the Purusha, it cannot perceive the consciousness itself. Or to put it in other words, the Purusha, the consciousness, cannot be the object of perception by the mind. This way or the other way, both ways. The emphasis of the sutra is that particular point. That's why it is impossible for us to know what consciousness is in itself as long as we are within the realms of the mind. And that is important dimension where this particular sutra brings points for the chitta vritti nirodha, mano nashaha, mano rahityaha, manarahitya, mano nashaha. All these words came from this particular point, that eka samaye cha ubhaya avadharanam is not possible. Anavadharanam it is. And let us see the further extensions and the depth of the knowledge brought by Maharshi Patanjali in the next sutras. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.